I'm going to read this, okay. You'll have to bear with me.
Getting closer.
Okay. Thank you for the assistance. Good morning, my name is Norman Goodwin. I was an AUEW shop steward at GKN Salisbury Transmission in 1972. Before I proceed with this, I would just like to say I'm rather pleased to know that some of us actually continued on for 40 years and are here to say how things were at that particular time. At the time of the picket here, I was a shop steward, as I said, but there was something a little earlier than that. I worked in this area, which was an area of gasworks, etc., and I actually worked in a gasworks retort house in this area, and for retort house, read Hades itself. And it did strike me when I was thinking about all of this yesterday, how poor this area was, and how this area had sweated labour, and how the working people of this very area paid for the price of capitalism, and it was something which we ought to think about today. And that's for that very reason it's such a good thing that 40 years ago we were able to bring about what I consider the most important class victory, when we built the resistance and got rid of the fight, when we won the victory here on the 10th of February. I'm so pleased it was in Saltley that this thing occurred. 40 years ago was a strong time in the lives of so many British workers. The period of activity which caused so many Birmingham workers to come out in the assistance of the National Union Mine Workers to picket here was not so surprising. Workers in Britain, reading the papers, they knew what was going on, they could see what the press had to say. They knew about the offensive, the Test offensive in Vietnam. They knew what occurred, the revolt in France, the student union movement in France, what was happening in Czechoslovakia. They knew what was happening in the USA with the fight for civil rights. And right on their own doorstep, they had the whole question of the little matter of the right for self-determination for the Irish working classes. The small wonder that the large sections of workers in Britain were taking on board the idea of direct class action. The need, the latent desire for internationalism was striking home. I'm shaking, you know. Striking home. And the matter of the question of socialism in one country was under scrutiny, and at times they were changing. The story of how the great act of class solidarity occurred here will always be told. Will always be told. I must mention his name. We were grateful for the work of Frank Waters, then the leader of the Communist Party of Great Britain in this city, for the liaison work he did between the two important parties, the National Union of Mine Workers and my union, the AUEW. For those of you who know or remember, would like to know, the two main protagonists were Brother Arthur Harper, convener, Tractor and Transmissions, and also my president in the district committee of the AEU. The district committee with a very strong rank and file organisation within my union. I was pleased to know at that particular time that the liaison work had been done, and it brought together Bill Harper, who's no longer with us, and Arthur Scoggall over there. President Harper of Tractors made it possible for the leader of Yorkshire Miners to address the district committee, made them shop stewards and conveners, a true rank and file organisation. The question of what occurred here with the AEUW was never affected by full-time trading officials. When I was on the gate down here at Saltley, I saw not one AEUW full-time official. Was it 30,000? Was it 40,000 workers on strike? Was it 10, 14, 15,000 men who marched to picket here? It matters little. What we do know was it was a massive class action for which we are always going to recall. Coming to the question of my own plant, I was at a mass meeting, at the mass meeting in my own factory, and the convener, Jack Ashby, brought the recommendation from the district committee, which was met with a show of hands, and it was agreed that all workers in the plant I was in would strike and would picket here. On the morning of the 10th of February, the men in my plant clocked in, no green buttons were pushed, no machinery started, and at 7:30 the bell rang and we walked out. Everyone walked out. We walked out onto Deacon Avenue. There must have been around 400 of my lot. And just down the road, I can recall very clearly, workers from GKN Forgings and Presswork coming out, and we sent down a delegation of shop stewards. We agreed to meet, and we fetched a delegation of 800 workers to this very place. How long did it take to get here? 30 minutes probably. There was a blue brick wall with iron railings on top of it, each side of the gate. We were early, and after passing Brother Scargill on an outbuilding, we were on the actual gate. We were early. Many of us jumped up on the wall and holding on to the railings. We were young in them days. We watched and saw contingent after contingent arrive in the square, tractor and transmissions. One moment please. Tractor and transmissions were on one side of the gate, and we were on the other. They also jumped up on the blue brick wall. Well, they would, wouldn't they? On they came. Morris Commercial, Lucas, Dunlop, Hardy Spices, Rover plants from Surrey on Acock Green, and in particular I must pay reference to the brave fighting women from SU Carburettors. The square was packed, solid. I forget how many were there. I forget how many police were there. The little green buses which they brought with them were in the side streets. They were outnumbered, and they were impotent. I hope this sounds alright. We can now recall the Chief Constable with a little man with him, locked the gates, and we won through class solidarity. 40 years on, we are back here to celebrate those times and those events. I think now, how would we have responded then to the capitalist crisis of today? I'm quite certain we would not have occupied St. Paul's Square. We would have marched on Parliament, occupied the dockyards, occupied the factories, and occupied the mines. It's quite possible that the pre-revolutionary situation might have occurred. With such will, with broad international links, we would have challenged the very existence of world capitalism. I've almost finished. May I say Saltley Gate was the proudest day of my life. Now let's work to destroy all anti-trade union laws. Let's work to rebuild a real rank and file movement within our trade union movement. I am proud to be here with all of you on this day. Thank you.